Welcome back to Old Man Media Podcast with your hosts
Will Rag?
and me, Paul Buchanan. This week we are talking about the Ryan Gosling film Project Hail Mary.
Yeah, I initially wrote this off when we first saw the trailer for it.
Yeah, it had a god-awful trailer. I saw it a couple of times
God-awful.
when I went to the cinema. It was like Supersonic Oasis, but like trailer
No, it was Champagne Supernova.
Champagne Supernova even. It was like, how many special people change.
Oh.
And it's like, really just like over dramatic. I was thinking, we went to see, I went to the cinema yesterday. And I was, in my head, I just thought like, the game's gone, man. Like, just all of the trailers have such a cookie cutter kind of, all of them have got that trailerized music, and it gets to the point where it's like, if something just came in and it had normal music, it would actually stand out from the rest of this crap. Why is everyone fitting this formula, like, just because it's in a movie theatre and you've got to have, it play to the sound system and, try and excite people, like rumbling, and it's just like, just fucking, I don't know, open it up with The Wait by the band. I'd be there. Go into Nazareth. I don't care what the film's about, I'm there.
Yeah, there was
feeling
some
about
terrible
8:30.
No, to be fair, some of the needle drops in this were pretty good.
In Project Hail Mary, yes.
Not in the
absolutely.
trailer, but...
Yeah, the trailer, and I remember watching it, it's been like, what was a little rock guy? It's kind of like an E.T. thing.
Yeah, it harkens back a lot to, like, 80s, E.T. and, there's a little bit of 2001 in there as well. Yeah, I thought it was a lot more enjoyable than the trailer made it out to be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I'm on the fence with this, because it's like, when I was in the theatre, I was kind of like grinning a lot, and I was like, this is kind of playing to just like it's not highbrow for me, which is fine. I think I need to deconstruct myself as a, I feel like I'm always like, a film needs to fucking mean something, it needs to be really, like, I don't know, it must have made me feel something, I've just been like watching some movies that I'm just like, this makes me feel good while I watch it. It's kind of like hopecore, but then again, it's just like, this movie does feel like it falls in that sort of category of Marvel kind of like vibe of film, production level, it's very like, it pleases everyone.
Yeah, it is a crowd pleaser, but at the same time, like, I don't know, big budget films like blockbusters can be a vehicle for high art, and they can strive for something bigger whilst doing this kind of crowd pleasing thing. And I think, like, at a certain level, I think Project Hail Mary does try to reach for something a little bit. I think maybe at times a little bit beyond its grasp, but I mean, I can tell that, I don't know, I watch it and I think this is decent filmmaking at a high level, and it's enjoyable, and I think that there is stuff underneath that's worth, I think, a podcast episode.
Well, I hope so. Yeah, I mean, going into this, I was a bit like, I don't know how much I have to say on it, but then I think that sometimes, and then end up talking for like an hour. I'm like, give a Capitol riots or something. But I think this film, like, for me, it didn't feel like especially deep. It felt very like this same genre of, what was that film of Leonardo DiCaprio, Don't Look Up?
I didn't see that.
Space kind of horror and like environmentalism, and what are we gonna do if how's everyone gonna pull together? If it didn't have that whole unified vibe, it was more about this one guy being pulled out of his life to go on this mission. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it explores like themes of like responsibility and duty, but yeah, I felt like there was a 4-hour cut apparently originally, and then people like cut this down, and even the film's really long as it is.
No, yeah, people say that sometimes.
It does fly by. It didn't feel long, but then when I think about it, there's like a lot of things in the story that were glossed over. Like, he's single. He doesn't have kids.
I think that's part of
family.
it. No, I think that's part of it. That was deliberate.
Yes, I'm saying, but like, you don't really understand why. You don't get any backstory into that, and I feel like that might have helped deepen the character, because I guess he's just a bit of an action man. He's like, yeah, I'm a teacher, and I have no kids, and I have no family, and I like science, and it's like, cool, like, that's luckily you've got Ryan Gosling playing you, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm a Sucker for the Goz. Sucker for the Goz, man. I love that guy. He could be in anything, and I'd probably enjoy it. So,
he can probably, I think, just about do anything.
I actually, regrettably have not seen the Barbie film.
I have. He's good in that.
And I'd like to watch it, because, I've only recently watched my first Gerwig. Watched Francis Ha.
Oh, really? Oh, that's good.
I was like, this is like a politically correct Woody Allen.
Yeah, I mean, that whole mumblecore, like...
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, there was like a short period of time.
What kind of genre of music do you make? Oh, I make a bit of mumblecore.
Yeah, there for like a short period, I want to say like 2010s, there was like a bunch of films coming out, like, very like indie films, focused on like just middle class relationships in New York, and Gerwig and Baumbach were a part of that. There's a bunch of them. There's stuff like what's it called, Nights and Weekends, and Funny Ha Ha. Yeah, so mumblecore was like in the, like, I want to say like early to mid 2010s. There was a bunch of films coming out that centered on like white middle class 30-somethings in New York, and just about their personal relationships.
It's like Seinfeld.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, but a bit more. There was a bit of comedy to it, but it was a bit more kind of serious and focused a lot on conversations. They were kind of almost a bit like plays, because I think Gerwig was originally a playwright. I might be wrong about that, but there was lots of films. Yeah, Francis Ha, I think, is kind of in that realm. Maybe not exactly, but what were we talking about, Gerwig? Oh, Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling's filmography is really interesting. Like, he can do, he's, I think, best at the like comedic / action things, like in this one.
No, I like him in The Notebook. I like him in a good drama.
Seen The Notebook.
He's good in Drive, which is a bit more action.
Yeah, like that's a lot more serious.
He's got range, man. I think a Ryan Gosling rom-com.
Have you seen The Nice Guys?
Nice Guys, no.
With Russell Crowe. I think it's probably his best film role. He's so funny when he wants to be.
It's not The Notebook.
The fun thing about Paul is he loves The Notebook.
I saw it for the first time last year. I was like, this is generational.
Crazy.
Give me a box of tissues in 3 hours and I'm there.
The only reason I kind of wanted to watch it is because it's by John Cassavetes' son, and Jenna Rollins is in it.
You've not seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Gotta watch it, man. It's gonna change your life.
But
You're gonna rethink your whole idea of relationships and love and class and power.
Am I? Maybe I will.
I don't know. I mean, not that I guess you can't really talk about Ryan Gosling without talking about The Notebook. Just like you can't talk about Leonardo DiCaprio without talking about Titanic. But
it was kind of his star-making thing, wasn't it? It was his first proper big film role. Have you seen that? He was in early on. He played a Nazi in a film. There was like a few films when American History X came out, and American History X was really big because it was about Ed Norton was a recovering white nationalist, and he tries to get the kid that he's gotten into it out of it, or something like that. And there was a bunch of films. Ryan Gosling did one, and there was someone else did one as well. But that was a genre.
Yeah, it's kind of a strange way to get. It's like they're really misusing him as a type. They've not typecast him correctly there. If that's what they've started him off.
That was
He's just so lovable. Why is he playing a Nazi?
Yeah, that was a very early role. One of his other early roles, I don't know if this was after The Notebook or not. I want to say probably around the same time, but Lars and the Real Girl.
Not seen it.
He falls in love with a sex toy, like a sex doll.
He's got fucking range.
He's actually, because it is kind of played as a bit of a joke, but it's also, there is depth to the character, and he's attached to this because he is really lonely, and he does play it really well in like that. In the kind of
who directs that then?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Not Charlie Kaufman.
No. Like the comedic and the dramatic he plays, you can play really well.
Have you seen Drive?
Yeah, great film. Yeah, I really like that film.
It's very stylized, isn't it? It's got like this kind of, what's that game? Hotline Miami.
Yeah,
it's got that kind of aesthetic.
That kind of 80s, yeah.
80s throwback, like, yeah.
There's a really annoying type of guy that really loves Drive, and I'm just like, yeah, like it's pretty good, but like the guy that goes around wearing.
It's not revolutionary, is it? It's like, it is very enjoyable. It feels like a sort of spin on the Taxi Driver trope.
I think it's a bit. It's very similar to Taxi Driver, especially with his relationship to women as well.
Yeah, and like he lives down the hall from. No, I mean that's not in that Taxi Driver. Actually, that's in Joker. Joker, he lives down the hall from that girl. Sort of all those films kind of just fall under incel core.
Yeah.
Which I don't want to say that because I think it's an important genre of exploring male loneliness. But I guess the reason it gets dabbed with that is because incels always make that their whole personality. And
yeah.
I'm just like Ryan Gosling from Drive, man. I don't have any women in my life.
But I think the thing about Ryan Gosling is he's not an incel in that film, though, is he? He doesn't care about this woman and her child and wants.
Yeah, no, he comes off as very cool, I guess, compared to Travis Bickle or the Joker.
Yeah, definitely.
Arthur Dent. That's not him. What's his name?
I don't know. I fucking hated Joker.
What, the first one?
Absolutely fucking hated it.
I enjoyed it.
Terrible. It's like I don't mind like kind of taking a little bit from other films, but it's like when you just completely ape Taxi Driver, and it's just like I could just go and watch Taxi Driver, and it's a million times better. And it's directed by a guy who did what, like a few like shitty comedies in the 2010s, and then I'm supposed to suddenly take him seriously because he's doing a gritty Joker remake. Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, it was very successful, but it was very much a flash in the pan of, I think people will look back on that film now and be like, I don't get what I saw in it. It's very a hype film, at the time.
It was of its time.
Yeah.
Do you remember when it came out, everyone was like thinking that there's going to be a shooting at the cinema?
Yeah.
Because everyone was like, incels going to love this film.
I mean, it's because of The Dark Knight.
Yeah, that happened to The Dark Knight. Yeah, that's
like,
true.
People...
But that wasn't because of The Dark Knight, though. That was just like, guy went crazy. I don't think it was because of the film.
Well, I mean, how much can you say? Because, I mean, there was stuff that happened because of, like, people watched Taxi Driver, or, the person who shot John Lennon had a copy of Catcher in the Rye, and it's like, maybe, is it this media causes that, or, drives people to commit these crimes, or is it these forms of media that explore loneliness, tend to be enjoyed by people that might be susceptible to committing these crimes. I think there's an edgy sort of side of them, and the normal person would be like, there is an edgy side to this, and it is a little bit like morally ambiguous. But then someone who's mentally ill might not see the ambiguousness of it and be like, no, the guy in Taxi Driver totally had a point, like. You know what I mean? You should totally go and like just take the law into your own hands and go kill some like pimps and.
Yeah, I mean, I think
everyone will love you.
I think that's definitely there's something to that. That like
I need to change the world and I need to change it now.
Like the films that are about that sort of level of society where people are incredibly mentally ill and prone to violence. Like that is something that happens in society, and I think it does need to be addressed. But then also those kinds of people are actually mentally ill. Like the person that tried to shoot, was it Richard Nixon? Because he thought Jodie Foster was talking to him through Taxi Driver.
I mean, to be fair, if there was any president that you could justify killing,
yeah, it would have been the one that
Tricky Dick
killed how many innocent people in Vietnam and Cambodia. Yeah, my first introduction to Richard Nixon was through Futurama, and all I think was him going, oh! He just did that the whole time.
I mean, it is a really great way of, like, you can't go out and kill Nixon, but you can, forever make a joke out of him
How
in the
fucking
cartoon.
stupid he was. Yeah.
So, yeah, props off to that. But, I've seen a dangerous, like, narrative floating around on social media at the moment about, like, the Unabomber, and they're like, oh, like, all these people that, like, he was calling out, and, like, there's, like, a couple people that he tried to kill or something, and they were like, they were on the fucking Epstein list, man, or, like...
Was that true?
Yeah, like, there's, like, some sort of connection with, like, all the people that he kind of... Or some of the people that he identified as targets were involved in, like, some child sex rings. Or,
I
like,
thought he
Jeffrey
chose those at random. Because he...
Off of the list.
Oh, right.
I believe he chose them at random off of a pre-made list of people that he was like, yeah, these are all
Oh, okay.
somehow wealthy, powerful, influential.
Oh, right.
And then but the dangerous narrative is just like kind of glorifying him as a martyr. But
I don't. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know where you
have,
stand on the Unabomber.
people have done that a lot with Ted Kaczynski because he wrote a manifesto.
Yeah.
That like blamed a lot of society's ills on our reliance on machines, and you know, people that like are.
I haven't read it, but I got ChatGPT to summarise it. So I'm quite familiar with Unabomber's manifesto.
That's a good bit. That's funny. I got ChatGPT to summarise Unabombers. But like that's, you know, nailing bombs to people is not an effective way to bring about societal change. It's not going to happen. And then
I don't know. What do you guys think? Write in.
don't write to us. Don't give out your address.
What do you think about mail bombing influential people? I think we'll be safe.
We're not influential, so yeah. But yeah, anyway, enough about the Unabomber.
But yeah, I don't know how we got onto that. Project Hail Mary has nothing to do with incel core, I'd say. Apart from the fact that he lives alone and he's, you know... I mean, I do like these films in terms of, like... Well, like, these films that, like, have these protagonists who are, you know, maybe living unconventional lives, which we're seeing more and more in this day and age where people can't afford to have the nuclear family and the house and stuff. And it's nice to just be like, oh, it's Ryan Gosling, he's a teacher, he's wholesome and he's happy, and it's like, that's the kind of, like, ideal male archetypes you want to see. And I think that's why I like Ryan Gosling a lot, because he plays a lot of, like, male characters who they're not like a stereotypical, like, masculine, fast and furious fucking Vin Diesel kind of guy. It's like, there's depths and layers and there's emotional complexity and there's, you know, vulnerability and... but like he pulls it off in like a way that's like, that's cool, you know?
Yeah,
there's definitely that in this movie.
Yeah, there's definitely something to that about, you know, I mean, this film, Blade Runner 2049, Lars and the Real Girl, nice guy, he doesn't really seem to have any family.
The Notebook is a little bit more classic Mask kind of.
But he doesn't really have much family in that either, does he?
He's like a poor boy.
Yeah.
And she's a rich girl, and he's like working at the lumberyard, and she's got her family make her go off to college, and yeah, I don't want to spoil the film, but
oh god, don't spoil the Notebook for me, please.
Well, no, trust me, you're gonna sit down and you're gonna watch that film. It's gonna change your life. That ending is gonna punch you straight in the gut.
I hope so, Paul.
You don't even know what the Notebook is. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't. But yeah, no, I think Ryan Gosling films are really interesting. I think you could definitely write a paper on his representation of masculinity and in the modern age. I mean, I think obviously,
which is huge for an actor, I think, to just be like, because, you know, I feel like classically the main male actors, you know, De Niro, Al Pacino, bloody Marlon Brando, even Leonardo DiCaprio, they all convey this very classic, silent, strong type of masculinity. And, you know, I just think, like, it's nice to have someone who shakes it up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think he's genuinely generational. I think he's great. And he's really good in this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if there's anyone else, I think that this film would bomb. Like, that's where my enjoyment of this film, I get a bit, like, on the fence about, because I'm like, you know, I just liked watching Ryan Gosling for, like, and it is mainly him because he's alone in space, until some rock guy comes in, and obviously that's not an actor.
It's genuinely impressive to, like, it's pretty much only him, almost the entire film. He's not really talking to an actual person when he's talking to The Rock. Like, he's got to go off of, like, completely his own thing. In long periods of time, he's just talking to himself. And it's like, have you ever watched Gravity with Sandra Bullock?
No, actually, I've seen it it was on the TV at a dive bar once, but it didn't have the volume.
That's a great way to watch a film with no volume.
So yeah, I guess you could say I'm quite familiar with it.
But like, the thing I didn't like about that film is like,
everyone cheered when she like did the landing or something. She had to like do the maneuver to
she comes back into space and she's like
pod.
But
everyone was like, "Way!"
But there's large parts of that film.
Had stopped playing.
One of the one of the like main criticism of that film, which is she talks to herself the entire time, and it doesn't feel like you're just getting exposition the whole time. And I do feel like, but also like, I don't know, there are ways of going about that. Obviously, for the first 20 years of cinema's existence, there wasn't any sound. and so we didn't have that, and we had to get information just through body language. So there is ways of going about not having sound and doing things just through body language, but it would be a bit fucking dull. But I think my point here was that Ryan Gosling sells it a lot better than Sandra Bullock does.
Yeah, I mean, like there's a lot of bits where he's just talking to himself, or actually, the beginning of the film was really good because he has a tube down his throat, just like it's the first time you see him on screen, and he just like comes out of this like self-induced coma, pulls this tube out of his throat, just vomits everywhere, and you're like, that's hilarious. So that's how they're going to introduce the main character of the film. Like, it's so like not glamorous at all, which maybe is why it just grounds him, and the rest. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting how they introduced the character, because obviously you kind of, whenever you go into a film, you kind of know what the plot is anyway, and you know that he's going to be alone in space. But then this whole like, where am I? What's going on? I think was like it's.
I mean, it is a classic device, isn't it? Like, I've got amnesia. I need to remember who I am. And then,
Jason Bourne.
Yeah, you get to catch up with the plot through that, but. Yeah, it wasn't done in like a cringe way or anything. And
the only thing I'd say with that is I think they could have done that, like showing plot details better, because they just had long periods of flashbacks. Right, you woke up in space, you don't know where you are, you've got to figure it out. Then we go on this journey with you trying to figure it out. But then it's just like he doesn't figure it out, he just has flashbacks. Like
there's a lot of time jumps in the film as well, which just gets a bit. Like, it's not hard to follow, but it's just like, it kind of breaks the flow a bit, and it's like, oh, we're in the past now, oh, we're back in the future, oh, we're back, and it's just like, it can be a bit of a, like, lazy way to cobble together something, I think. So, yeah, definitely would lose a point in my books for just the amount of just time skips that I have.
Yeah, I mean, like, one of the classic, like, ways of getting exposition to people is, like, the opening scene of Godfather, where Michael Corleone is telling Kay all about his family.
Yeah.
And so you're getting loads of exposition. It doesn't feel like you're getting exposition. That's what kind of makes the Godfather so good.
Yeah, it's a natural conversation with this lover that he's brought to the family event who doesn't know any of the family. So she's like, oh, God, can you fill me in? Yeah. And he's like, right, here's the lowdown. Here's the...
Yeah. But with him teaching a class about, of kids about what this... what was it called again? The little thing that's... Ooh, we should know that information. We're doing a podcast about the film. Can't remember. But there is a virus eating.
Unobtainium.
Fuck's sake. There is like a cellular virus eating like sunlight, pretty much, and he's telling an entire class all they know about it, and it is just like, okay, this is all the plot information we're getting, and I just there's definitely better ways of doing that. I think it's actually a pretty well-made film, but that is one bit that I wouldn't.
Yeah, it's a made-up substance, isn't it? It's like
because there's something eating the sun basically to get new. I don't know. God, we watched this last week.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like it's sci-fi. It's very known, kind of. Just I think it doesn't mind brushing past over-explaining stuff because it knows that a lot of the viewers have probably seen a lot of sci-fi films so far. It's like, sure, there's this fucking made-up, chemical. It's eating the sun, and then there's a whole thing about how he wrote this paper on, how he doesn't think that we evolved or that water is necessary for life. That you can.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. Like, because I mean, that was a lot of his character's traits, wasn't it? The reason that he's a school teacher now instead of an actual scientist is because he
insulted someone over it. So
I think that was a really interesting character detail. But then he just like quickly gets disproven, and then they just never bring it up again.
Yeah,
I think that could have been something.
No, but then isn't the whole point that he meets the Rock, and then he's like, "Well, this proves because the Rock didn't use any water." I keep saying the Rock. Actually, they're the Iridians, is what the race is. Erudite. And they call him Rocky in the film. Oh yeah, no, there's some really good gags in this as well. Like really, just like
it's quite a funny film.
Really silly, but you're like, oh, I don't mind having a shit-eating grin on my face, like because he calls the Rock Rocky, and then there's a bit where he's talking about how he's got a partner back home, and then they're trying to fit, because basically the whole film or part of the film he's translating, or they're figuring out how to communicate with each other, and he's building a language base on the computer so that he can translate. And he's like, oh, we need to come up with a word for your lover. He goes, oh, how about what's
Adrian.
It's like, what about Adrian? And I was like, that really got me. I was like, that's fucking funny. Rocky and Adrian.
And he's explaining the plot points to Rocky to the aliens. Quite funny. Yeah, very funny. I mean, yeah, I think Ryan Gosling's a very good comedic actor. But one thing I noticed in the film that I think I did try and mention it to you, and you said you didn't. I think part of the reason that you don't know anything about his background, I think, is a hint at a more biblical allegory about, he's kind of almost supposed to be Jesus. I mean, his name's Grace.
I mean, we know all about Jesus' background. He was a carpenter, and his father was Joseph, and...
No, but I mean, okay, in that respect, yeah. But you know that he was a scientist, and you know that he got rejected. But you don't know about his parents in an attempt to say that he's been immaculately conceived, because there's no mention of his parents. There's one mention of you don't have any known family, and then that's it. So it's almost like he's immaculately conceived. His name's Grace. The project's called Hail Mary. And he's reborn. Literally at the start of the film, he's reborn.
What, he's called Grace? Do you mean just like the way
that Grace is in
God's
that's
grace?
It's
I think they should have just called him Gabrielle.
I think that would have been a bit too on the nose. But I thought that was interesting. I think it does show something a bit deeper going on in the film, which is good to see in a blockbuster.
Yeah, I mean, I guess as well there's that whole it sort of brings that Darwinism.
Darwinism.
Yeah.
I think it's just Darwinism.
Darwinism, and that whole kind of church versus science thing, even like who's the telescope guy?
Galileo.
Even like Galileo stuff of maybe we still don't know everything there is to know about the universe, and maybe science is wrong, because we just believe what we believe because of certain research, but then the thing about science is always evolving, and eventually maybe what we're being taught in schools today will be one day disproved and be like, oh, you know what, we thought it was that, but actually there's this other factor at play which changes, and there's a bit of that going on with the scientific kind of theories. And
I think one thing I think that's interesting about this is that it isn't like science is right and religion is wrong. I think it's trying to show there is a place for both of science and religion in today's society, with having faith in our everybody around you and having this community does definitely have its place in modern society, and it is not necessarily that science is wrong, so stop believing in your stupid God. Because it's about having a deeper understanding of ourselves and having some sort of kind of moral guidance in society. And I think...
I mean, he doesn't...
I mean, he's not outwardly religious anyway.
Spoilers for the plot, but he doesn't want to go on the mission at all. He literally has to get drugged and kidnapped to go on the mission, right?
Yeah.
So, that kind of contradicts the moral obligation.
But betrayed by someone close to him. So, just like a carpenter we know.
Just like everyone's favourite carpenter. Sabrina Carpenter.
Did you hear about Sabrina Carpenter's music video? No. Because she filmed a really raunchy music video in a church in Brooklyn, in New York, and the Diocese of Brooklyn was like, why I think it's to the person that run the church. It's like, why did you let her film this really raunchy music video here? And then there was always kickback on social media, and then Sabrina put out a thing on social media about how we just wanted to make our music video. After all, Jesus was a carpenter. But that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, if there was a Jesus, he's definitely left us by now, so I don't know why the church even still try.
Sabrina is Jesus. He's the second coming.
Maybe. She makes some fun pop tunes.
She certainly does. She is very hot.
I don't think Jesus had either of those things. I guess
he's ripped on some of those.
The whole world in his hands, kind of a banger. Got the whole world in his hands.
He's got
See, everyone knows it.
There are some good gospel songs.
Yeah, they're not written by Jesus.
No, I don't think Jesus wrote that song.
He did. That's the one. That one song he. As he was on the cross, he was like, "Someone write this down. I can't clap."
But I just slap my feet together to the rhythm.
I love the life of Brian, man. That's so good.
What's the song in that one?
Always
look on the bright side of life. Do do. Banger.
Yeah. This film, Project Hail Mary, I enjoyed it. Martin would watch it again in a relaxed setting of like, yeah, fuck it, let's put that on. So I don't think it deserves the hype and the high scores across the board.
Crazy how high
it's
it got.
Maybe indicative of how many
poorly made blockbusters there are.
And maybe how many quite. I don't know. I feel like Letterboxd has gotten a lot more popular, and I feel like there's a lot I don't have another word for it apart from normies, but that makes me sound like a fucking incel. But the average moviegoer who oh yeah, that was fantastic. Let's put that on my Letterboxd, 5 stars, lad. And it's just like, I mean, it's not that good, is it? It's like the scores on Letterboxd like 4.5, out of 5, and it's like, have you even fucking seen The Godfather?
Yeah, you brought sound proper fucking incel now. I don't want to be gatekeepy about it, but
it's not that good. It's not that good. It's good if you haven't seen, I don't know, Alien, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Interstellar even is fucking mogs that film.
E.T. does as well.
Not seen E.T. actually.
Haven't you?
But I'm not a Spielberg fanatic in terms of. I guess the fucking I'll be honest. I don't like what's popular. I like to be contrarian. So I think Spielberg's just so
loves The Godfather.
So I mean, obviously The Godfather is goated, but on all accounts. But no, I don't know. Just something about Spielberg. It seems very 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 clinical filmmaking, maybe, or not even clinical. I mean, does he do? He does Indiana Jones, right?
Yeah. Clinical's certainly not the word I'd use. I
don't know.
Using popular media as a vehicle for high art, I think, is something I'm really interested in. And spoilers, we're going to talk about Jaws soon. And
you're going to talk about Jaws.
I'm going to give some information about Jaws, but that's such a good example of it, because there's so much. It's such a dense film, but just with good filmmaking. He has a really good eye for what's cinematic, used a lot of Hitchcock and stuff, and it's really good filmmaking, but it's easily enjoyable, and there is some deeper stuff going on there, and that's, I think, that's literally the blueprint for summer blockbusters, and I think Project Hail Mary follows that blueprint fairly well.
Yeah, this is what I was going to say, is I feel like Steven Spielberg's style has been sort of the blueprint for a lot of the lesser, not as good blockbusters, in terms of the way he presents the films, the John Williams soundtrack, and I feel like because what he did at the time was so good and effective and sold a lot of, got a lot of tickets in theatres, blockbuster reception. Because of that, and it's been replicated so much that his style doesn't really it doesn't shine out to me as much anymore, because it's been sort of duplicated so many times by an array of directors. Even you look at the Harry Potter films, I feel like they owe a lot to Steven Spielberg's style of directing. I think even it gives me the reminder of watching film 4+1 when I was a kid, and it's this is a movie. And it's obviously good, but it's sort of there's something not super original about it at this point. But then again, I haven't seen any of Spielberg's most recent cuts.
Yeah, The Fabelmans is definitely one to watch. It's really good. Seth Rogen plays his dad.
Kind of a love letter to movies, right?
Kind of. It's more about his childhood, I think, and about how he himself got into filmmaking. And him going, because a big criticism of Spielberg was when he made films like Schindler's List, and he tries to like make the Holocaust into a blockbuster, and then to do so, there's like a dramatic intent needed, and so there's specifically a scene where a bunch of Jewish people go into a shower, and you're like, oh my god, it's going to be a gas chamber, and then they're all freaking out, but then it's not, it's just an actual shower, and like that has been quite widely criticised because you're not joke, but like you're using what actually happened to people, being killed in gas chambers as a dramatic device in your film about the Holocaust. I mean, of course, Spielberg is Jewish, but like,
You've got to do that though if you're talking, like, what are you supposed to do? Like, oh, we're just not going to tell the story of the Holocaust. This is PG Holocaust right here.
Yeah, but
they get taken out. They got sent to a farm upstate.
It's more the fact that it wasn't a gas chamber, and he uses that. Is it a gas chamber as a dramatic device? And
I see.
And it's the Fabelmans is him. Like everyone was like, oh, you have to like turn this off sometimes, and you have to be more realistic and not just try and make everything cinematic. And the Fabelmans is kind of him almost going, I literally can't everything in my life, like his mum cheating on his dad. Oh no, is that what happens in the film? There's something in the film, and his mum is having an affair with Seth Rogen, right? And it's like he makes a film out of it and like makes that cinematic, but it's like, is your mum having an extramarital affair? Like you like they need, like, it's just him going, I can't turn this off. I've just always done this.
Cinema.
Yeah. But
yeah, it's just I think 6-year-old Stephen Spielberg watching his mum cheat on his dad, like, oh my god, it's gonna be such a good movie one day. I remember this.
But Spielberg,
remember the frame composition.
Spielberg, I would say, is probably top 5 filmmakers ever.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like I don't deny that he's like genius. Like, he's a provocateur, like a.
I don't know what you're trying to say. Provocateur?
Right. Well. Oh fuck.
Do you want to look it up?
Like a revolutionary, like he's pushed cinema. Oh mate, words on the tip of my tongue. Like, he's revolutionised cinema. He's evolved cinema. He's a proprietor of cinema. There you go. So he's proprietor of films. Like, I think without him, the film industry would probably be like 20 years behind what it is now, maybe.
Yeah.
In terms of quality.
Yeah, I would encourage you to watch more, and really, I mean, I just look at his films and like just like simple things all the time, and it's just he does the simple things really, really well, and that's how he introduces things has always been really interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what goes off what I'm saying, is that because it can appear surface level simple sometimes, the devices he used.
Yeah.
But then again, it's kind of like simplicity drives a point. Drives a point home a lot more effectively than being really complicated and convoluted and maybe even like overcomplicated and getting the point across. So yeah, I need to take off my kind of pretentious mindset.
I think Spielberg is one of those guys that like, if you're not really into film, like watching loads of films, and lots of different films, then you go, oh, Spielberg's great because he's popular and he's made all these good films. And then you start watching more films and you're like, oh, Steven Spielberg's popular, so he's not that good. And I like these other films that aren't as popular. And then you get, I don't want to paint myself as someone that is like enlightened or whatever, but then you get really into it and you're like, oh no, he is like incredible. And like the stuff that he did, and he got studios to back him, and made these incredibly popular movies with these, layers of subtext and just fantastic filmmaking behind them. He's just genuinely, I probably.
Yeah, I'm like, I think we did a Avatar 3 episode a while back, and it's like, to compare him to James Cameron, he gets the job done, you know what I mean? Like, James Cameron takes years to get these films out, and obviously there's a technological hurdle, but even then, like, I just feel like Steven Spielberg is like, he's very effective at, putting out hits, year after year. And yeah, you can't really, I don't know. I guess it's almost like an old school Hollywood mindset with him as well. I guess that's the cool thing about him is that he's still able to work at this high intensity and volume and output, and the quality never really like falters. Yeah. Whereas James Cameron feels very new age, maybe in that respect.
Yeah, I mean Spielberg's great because I mean there's not really that many directors left nowadays that can get audiences into cinemas just by name alone. So like you got Nolan, Tarantino, maybe Scorsese, but
well, I think Scorsese's not got the consistent quality for me. I think like Scorsese's highs for me are like probably better than a lot of directors. In my opinion, like he's like top of my list for his high points, but then he's got some real kind of like middle of the road stuff, and yes, I never like shit stuff, but I didn't really enjoy Killers of the Flower Moon. I probably wouldn't like after going to see that in the cinema. I was like less excited about going to see future films from him. Yeah. I think The Irishman very high for me, another high point in his career. But then you go before that, and you've got was it Silence?
Yes.
And Silence is like the Killers of the Flower Moon for me. It sort of feels like late Bob Dylan career where you're like there is a lot of skill and merit and stuff going on here, but it just doesn't hit like his other stuff. But you respect him because he's doing what he wants to do. Yeah. So it's one of those. Whereas Spielberg's he's got a crowd pleasing side to him, I guess, but like in a way that you are going to be pleased. Like he does it well. He's not performative about it. He's just like this is a good movie. Lots of people are going to get this.
Yeah. There's a good quote from someone. I can't remember who. I feel like maybe it's Truffaut or maybe it's Goddard, who said, I'd rather see a bad film from a good director than a good film from a bad director. So, like, a bad Hitchcock film is going to be better than fucking Todd Phillips' fucking good film or something. You know what I mean? Because there's more merit to it, and there's more, you can see their artistic evolution and stuff they're trying to strive for that they've gone for in other films and they're going for in a different way or something like that.
Who directed The Avengers? Zack Snyder, is it?
No, that's why do I know this? But it was the Russo brothers.
Do you think they're a name that brings people in? The lay folk, the common?
No, I don't think so. No? I don't. No.
Well, I mean, there's got to be some people in that field.
Actors maybe, but not directors. Zack Snyder maybe.
Hey, I mean, actually, saying that, in the sort of like film cinephile circles, you've got like, what's his name, Robert Eggers?
Yeah.
You've got...
Yeah, but they'll get... But I'm talking about a large majority, like a large majority of the population to go into the cinema to go and see a film because of the director. I don't think Robert Eggers is doing that at the moment.
Nah. I mean, I don't know.
But Nosferatu did very well, to be fair.
It's not Benicio del Toro, Guillermo del Toro.
No, I don't think, no.
He's got a Netflix kind of produced Frankenstein, Pan's Labyrinth. Off the back of that, he's got some, I think he's... Did he do Pinocchio? Did that go well for him?
No, I don't think so. I've really lost any interest in Guillermo del Toro. I used to love it. Some of his really early work is really, really good. Hellboy I thought was great, and then I just, like, this later stuff, it's just been fucking crap.
Yeah. Well... Project Hail Mary.
Yeah, we got way off track for a long time.
That's what I mean, though. I don't have so much to say on this movie. I have a lot to say about that maybe the other things it is influenced by. But it was an enjoyable time. I don't think I felt too moved any one way. Actually, saying that, I got emotional when when Rocky. There's a bit in the film where Rocky. Might die. He saves Ryan Gosling at the expense of himself. He goes into his ship unprotected because he doesn't survive in the same atmosphere as Gosling, and then he presses a switch on his ship to save Ryan Gosling's life. And then Ryan Gosling wakes up, and then he's like looking for Rocky. He's like, Rocky, where are you? And honestly, I was in tears, man. I was like, I swear to God, if anything happens to that fucking rock.
No, the effects on the rock were great though. I thought that was really. I mean,
it was practical.
Was it practical?
Don't know. It looked like with the hands and stuff. I don't know if all of it was practical, but maybe there were like shots with Ryan Gosling. They're like, we've got this this prop of an animatronic or maybe even just puppeted sort of hand, because those bits felt quite like the way that it moved felt quite natural.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Yeah, if that's practical, then fucking props to him, because we need to bring back
That's a really good pun.
I didn't even mean that.
That's really good.
Yeah, I know. I really liked it. I think it looked good. It looked. I don't know. It was a bit. I think the whole film itself actually looked pretty good. I guess there's only really so much you can do. But I don't know. You look at a film like 2001 and the way the spaceship looks, and it's really interesting and it feels cool. And then you look at that one and it's just a bit drab. I don't know. But I think there's more that can be done. But I don't think it looked too bad.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of such a done thing now with, Star Wars, and I think Star Wars had the most kind of like, the original trilogy had like the best stylized kind of ships and space battles and all of that. But in this day and age, it's like, what can you do to make people be like, whoa? Like, they've done a ship design, there's gonna be Project Hail Mary Lego sets, like, but it does just feel a little bit like, I don't know, like just sort of branding and how much merch can we make out of this? And the same with Rocky, unfortunately. Yeah. But that is a part of the film industry.
Yeah, see, I don't mind the whole. Cause where I have a problem with Star Wars is they introduce these little furry creatures just to sell.
I know we've got that.
We've gone over this, but Rocky is like important to the story. Like he, coming across an alien race to save each other's race, like is important to the story. So I don't mind it too much.
The Ewoks are important to the story.
Yeah, I don't mind the Ewoks. It's the little puffin guys in Harry Potter. Harry Potter? Fucking Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
I haven't really got much more to say on Project Hail Mary.
I think go and give it a watch.
Give it a watch, make your own minds up, and
get back to us.
Yeah.
Hit us up on the Instagram at oldmanmedia. Tell us what you thought.
DMs are always open. PO box, not so much at the current climate of things.
We don't want to be unibound.
Going out and saying Spielberg's for normies. I don't open up the PO
Please
box.
send Paul hate mail. Paul has a new single out. Go and report it.